If you're looking to consolidate your subscriptions to Claude and ChatGPT into one platform, this is going to be for you. So essentially, sometimes we like to do research with ChatGPT because it's really good for it, or we like to use Claude for copywriting because it excels better in that category. What I'm going to show you is something called Whoozy.ai, and it's where you can use all of these tools in one platform. So the setup is basically blank canvas, and I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. Here we are inside of Whoozy under the Canvas tab. This is where you'll see all of your boards. I'm going to click into my folder blogs, and these are all the blogs that I've had Whoozy help me write, create the images for, and the video for all of my blogs. So I'm going to go into how to start a real estate blog. And let me zoom out for you so you can see exactly what's going on here. I have different sections that I've used to write this blog. So this section here is where I give it some of the assets or context that I want to help research using ChatGPT. And then down here, I use Gemini to create some of these photos and videos for the actual blog. So I'm going to zoom into the context that I gave it to help me write the blog. And there's a few things to note here. So we've connected a few assets like AEO, SEO, and GEO rules of how to write blogs, the keywords that we want to focus on when writing blogs, and then we have a few blogs that have the copywriting style that we like, just to give the AI or this chat box over here some context into what we're doing. So down at the bottom, we have different modes that it can go into. So we have Whoozy and Whoozy Thinking. And under other models, we have Gemini 3 Pro, ChatGPT Thinking, which is great for research, and Claude, which is great for copywriting. So instead of having 5 subscriptions to 5 different AI platforms, you can get them all inside of Whoozy without having to connect your own API. It's all included in the subscription. And what I love about this platform is that you're able to upload these different assets like files, PDFs, docx, whatever you want, and bring them in, connect them to a chat. So you're visualizing what information this chat has and what context it's going to be working under. Now down at the bottom, we have personas, and personas basically help you strategize with the AI to be able to create whatever content you're creating. So if I go to my personas, I can have the AI for real estate community guide, which might help me write some of these blogs because it'll assist the chat in understanding what my goal is for this blog. So now I have a Boise expert and community guide that I can help write my blogs on, whether it's blog topics, subcategories, things to do, places to eat, it doesn't matter. This will help the chat understand what my overall goal is. So I'm not going back and forth every time saying, hey, you are this person, do this. We've all seen that, right? It's just one click and it's done and you connect it. Now, let's say this persona was for finding topics. And I said, hey, Whoozy, give me some topics for writing blogs. Now, without saying I'm located in Boise or that we need professional copywriting or keywords included, it has access to the persona, knowing that we're in Boise, the keywords that we need. And now we have family and dining category, a convenience and proximity category. So you can see how quick this can get you started. So let's say I want to pick one of these, Sunday bench brunch spots near Boise bench for families. My next step would be to go to my personas, and I'm going to have my blog content and strategist writer persona. And I'm going to connect to that, to the chat, because now I'm going to start actually writing my blog. Okay, so I will leave it on ChatGPT or Whoozy Thinking. It's essentially the same. And I will have it do research on the Sunday brunch spots near Boise for families. So I will copy this. And then I will say, do research, just to keep things simple. And you can see that it's actually searching for the best family-friendly Sunday brunch spots. It's going through all of these different links and letting you know, like, hey, I'm getting all this information for you. Let me bring it back into the chat. This is actually one of my favorite spots to go to in Boise. So if you ever are here, you should check out this place. It's got delicious food and it's an awesome vibe. But the point here is that we now have a bunch of different places that Whoozy did research about. And now we can get to the copywriting stage, which all I'm going to do is change the model. So I go to other models and hit Claude Sonnet 4.5. And if you really want to see the difference and take advantage of that difference here, there's this button down here that says create branch chat. Okay, and I'm going to click on that. Okay, so I have myself organized here, and you can see all of these things are connected to both chats. This branch chat actually summarized what I was talking about in this above chat. Okay, so what I want to do now is click on just the Whoozy model. Okay, and we're going to prompt both of these chats since we switched this one to Claude Sonnet and this one to Whoozy. And we're going to ask it to write this blog post for us on Blue Brunchet. And we're going to just take a quick look at the difference in the style writing for this based off of the same connected personas and the same assets. So we're going to say, write a blog about Blue Brunchet, and we'll send that away. And then we're going to paste it down in the other chat model that is Whoosy, which is essentially ChatGPT, and we're going to do the same thing. So according to the assets that I've attached here, it's going to find that meta information. This typically would not happen if you did not have instructions or something built out for it to refer to, but this is the way that we want this chat structured so we can reuse it on a regular basis. So we have our meta information, our opening with keywords tied to each one of these subtopics that's inside of the blog. So it's actually pulling those from this Boise bench. And then it combines both short paragraph and bullet points, which is great for SEO. And then we'll get down to the bottom here. So Claude Sonnet did a great job of filtering through everything that we wanted as far as service and vibe and what's on the menu, what recommendations we have. And now we're going to go take a look at the ChatGPT version of this. So you can see that the blog that ChatGPT wrote was much shorter and that it didn't include as many of those keywords. If you really dove into this, you'd see it didn't include as many of those keywords, as many of those 18 token snippets, which are good for GEO and AEO. And up top in the Claude version, you can see it breaks it down into header 3s, right? Header 2s, and then our main topic header. But it's almost twice as long with a lot more stuffing of keywords, but not to the point where it's going to harm our SEO because we have strict instructions in here saying don't overstuff. Now, with all of this done, there is another thing that we can do. There's an image generation feature, okay? So if I said, Whoosy, create an image for every single one of these topics, what is blue brunchette, menu, creative but not complicated, we can create an image for each one of these with just a prompt that says, hey, create an image for all of these different subtopics. And Whoosy will get to work on creating these. And it's not using necessarily Claude or ChatGPT, but it's going to be using Nano Banana too, because that's also inside of this Whoosy atmosphere. So let's go ahead and do that. Once we send that prompt away, Whoosy's going to start generating because we specifically clicked on this image generation feature. So we can see images are starting to populate and being created for each topic of our blog. Now, think about how quick this is. Instead of having to go to Canva and create an image or find something that's already been used that you just steal and put in your own blog, you can have these new images generated for each one of these sections: kids, menu, family, dining. We can go down to the bottom, and it even gave us the alt image text suggestions based on the SEO because of these files attached. So when you're uploading this to your blog, right, you've copied and pasted the copy that you like, you're putting it into your blog page. When you upload an image, there's going to be an image alt text, and all you have to do is copy and paste these, and these images will start populating on Google. So if somebody searches blue brunchette, you're going to see blue bench brunchette restaurant exterior in Boise neighborhood. That image will populate inside of Google. So you're double downing on not just a blog and a link inside of Google, but it's also working inside of the AI models that want to call on your information because you're following these specific guidelines, and you're showing up in Google Images because you have correct alt image text. So this is really going to boost your blog posts, okay? And just to show you some proof that this actually does work, let me pop over to my Google Search Console. So this is all my blogs for blog.whoosy.ai. You can see we have 10,000 impressions, 68 total clicks, and it's only been increasing month over month. So in the last 6 months, when I first started writing this blog, we were at basically nothing. And you can see every single month that I was able to post 1 or 2 blogs a month, we were able to increase our impressions, increase our views, and a breakdown of what pages were being viewed, as well as the queries that people were searching to find these pages. Now, you can do the same thing. This is just an example for blogs, essentially. But you can do the same thing for social media. You can have your guidelines. And now the system is created, so all you're doing is prompting it, hey, I have another social media post I want to create. Let's move on to the next topic we talked about. What's the script for it? What's the image for it? And you're just recording really quick and getting it out the door. So it's super fast, and everything's always at top of mind because you can visually see what you've connected to these chats. If you guys like this tutorial, leave me a like and subscribe. And let me know if you guys have anything else you want to learn about. I'd be happy to create some more tutorials.